Hi, everyone, and welcome to Studio Jake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. Thank you so much for joining me today on my vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture, including how Hollywood blacklists people in the strangest ways. Now, before I dive into it, be sure to like this video, leave me a comment, share it out to all your friends, and of course, subscribe. Help me reach 1,000 subs. I'm well over 900. I just need a few more to get me across the finish line. So every time that subscribe button is clicked, it really helps me out. All right, so diving right into it. My colleague, respected colleague, I'll add, Christian Toto, recently did an interview with Kevin Sorbo. For those of you like me who grew up in the 90s, you might remember him as Hercules. Or if you were younger in the early 2000s, you might remember him as the captain of the Andromeda in Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda. Needless to say, Kevin Sorbo is one of my favorite actors. He is a really good actor. I've seen him be funny, I've seen him be serious, I've seen him be incredibly emotional. He has a wide range when it comes to the acting talent. And recently he was interviewed by my respected colleague, Christian Toto. Now, I don't want to go over the whole interview. I want you to go to hollywoodandtoto.com. I want you to go to Christian Toto's podcast, which is also available on YouTube, as well as where you can find a podcast and listen to the whole interview. But I wanted to highlight this exchange that he has where he talks about it because, you see, Kevin Sorbo has been blacklisted by Hollywood. Is it because he was operating a front for the communists in Soviet Russia? No. Is it because he was convicted of a crime and went on the lam like a certain film director named Roman Polanski? No. Did he use his authority and influence to take advantage of women or men in the similar to Harvey Weinstein and is alleged by people like Bryan Singer and Nickelodeon's Dan Schneider? No. It's because simply he is a Christian and he is outspoken about that. He makes no bones about it. He's starred in several Christian-themed films. He's also directed a movie called Miracle in East Texas, which is why he was on with Christian Toto. He was promoting this. But he has said something interesting about the Hollywood blacklist that I just wanted to highlight because it, again, talks to me about how, like, it's so funny. If you talk to someone who is in a Hollywood studio, they might say, oh, Jacob, you're siding with the people of SAG and WGA. But if you talk to SAG and WGA, they would say I'm siding with the studios. No, I just want the whole Hollywood system to burn down. That trifecta that I always talk about: Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta. I'm ready for a new system of making movies that's not bogged down by a bunch of archaic rules and regulations and styles. And Kevin Sorbo, he has sort of embraced that sort of indie approach to filmmaking. And I'm not saying all the movies he's been in have been good, but certainly several of the ones I've seen have been really good movies. He likes to do family movies, ones where you can sit down and watch with the children, and he's really good at it, I might add. So this is from Hollywood and Toto. It says, Sorbo went rogue after Hollywood canceled him, creating his own studio to make movies without the industry's permission. He says his films offer stories for audiences being ignored by the mainstream. More and more people are waking up and realizing there's 80 million homes out there that really want the kind of movies that I'm doing, that Jim Caviezel is doing, that the Erwin brothers are doing. He said, the latter referencing the team behind such films as I Can Only Imagine and American Underdog. I've not seen American Underdog, but I Can Only Imagine is actually a pretty good film. He continues, I get these people coming up to me, camera guys, lighting guys, actors, on every movie I've been doing for the past 5 or 6 years, he says. They say, thank you for being a voice for us. Well, be a voice for yourself. Why do I have to be your voice? What are you afraid of? Well, I don't want to get blacklisted like you. You know what? Hollywood's not calling me anymore to do any television series or big budget movies, the former Hercules star says. But that's okay. That's okay. They're the ones that scream for love and peace, but they're the oppositive of that. They're filled with nothing but hate and anger for people like you and me. I do these wonderful family films, and it's pulling teeth to raise $3 million. That's catering budgets on 300 million Avengers movies, Sorbo says. I've never lost anybody money who invested in my movies. Let's go out and fight this culture war. And that's exactly right. And what's really sad is instead of Hollywood just saying, okay, we're going to just do our thing. Kevin Sorbo, Mark Wahlberg, Dennis Quaid, Daily Wire Entertainment, Angel Studios. All you guys, you stay over there, we'll stay over here, and we'll just see who's better. No, Hollywood they get their press outlets to malign them. Like for instance, did you know that ABC News is owned by the Walt Disney Company? What's an organization that has run a few negative reviews of some of these films, not just Kevin Sorbo's? Oh, ABC News. Could it be that they don't really care about the content or who's in it? Could just be that they're afraid of the competition. The Sound of Freedom and even the first God's Not Dead, which I will defend the first one. I don't like the ones afterwards. I'm man enough to admit that. I liked the first one. Those movies embarrassed Hollywood with how good they did at the box office. And same with some of Kevin Sorbo's films. And if Hollywood was just content to let these guys do their thing, and they'll do their thing, but it's not that. They want to try to malign them. They want to attack them. They want to blacklist them, all based on who they support politically or their religious affiliations. It's really interesting to me how Hollywood picks and chooses who they want to go after. For instance, Denzel Washington. He's an open Christian. He talks about all his faith all the time in interviews. He talks about it in speeches. He is faithful to his wife, and he is an award-winning actor. Rightly so. Denzel Washington is one of the most talented people in Hollywood. Now, I haven't seen it, the movie he directed. I believe he directed a movie called Fences. I haven't seen that, so I don't know his directing chops. But as far as acting, even a movie that I don't really like that he is in, I always walk away going, Denzel Washington was amazing, because he is that kind of actor. He is fantastic in his performances. And Hollywood doesn't seem to pick on him that much, but for some reason they get their ire up about Kevin Sorbo, and they blacklist him. Jim Caviezel is another example. When was the last time you saw Jim Caviezel? Another talented guy with amazing range in some big Hollywood movie. It's very rare to find these days. But whatever the case may be, I'm glad that Kevin Sorbo decided, hey, you know what? I'm not just going to complain about it. I'm going to do something about it. And he sat down and he did his hard work. And him and his wife, they have created a movie company that, in my opinion, is doing very well. Do I like every single movie that they produce? No. And I don't think that's their expectation of guys like me who review movies. But I think it's really cool that, and ironic that the guy who once played Hercules is slaying Hollywood, and putting his money where his mouth is. Yeah, I wish more like-minded people would do that they would just start, just say, hey, you know what, Hollywood, we don't need you anymore. Now, you will run into circumstances like with theaters, like was alleged was happening with the Sound of Freedom, where they were shutting down theaters. They were telling people tickets were sold out and then no one would be in the audience, things like that. But whatever the case may be, I do hope that we will continue to see more independent voices rising in the film industry. Guys like my friend Paul Rowland, who produced Exemplum. I know I shout his movie out all the time. You should see it. It's available for free on the Tubi streaming service and here on YouTube. You should definitely check that out. That one's not for the kids. Kevin Sorbo likes to do family movies. My buddy Paul Rowland, he does not censor himself. He goes whatever the script he thinks is the best way to go, he does it. And it's really, really cool to see these indie producers and indie guys going out and doing this and causing disruption. And I hope it happens more. And you know what? I hope that since, Hollywood is, busy striking, I hope that these independent voices get louder, because this is their opportunity, and I hope they take it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up, that you'll leave me a comment, tell me what you think, that you'll share it out with your friends, and of course, consider subscribing to Studio Jake. I cover all kinds of nerd and pop culture topics, including film, television, anime, comic books, and so much more. I hope that you'll also head over to my main website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have even more news, views, and commentary. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to my locals page. That's studiojakemedia.locals.com. It's the best way to support me. I'm trying to build a little community there. I have exclusive reviews and articles, so definitely head over there and check it out. And I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.